All right, what's up, people? So I'm back. I'm gonna do another maybe 10 to 15 minutes of streaming Saturday Night Cash Games on WSOP.com. These are 100 max cash games. This is an eight-handed table on the left, and there's a six-handed table on the right. So I was going to shut down the stream after the last video I did that I'm gonna post, but I jumped in this game and there was four small stacks. So I figured that this would be a lot of different scenarios I could look at already. There's some action. Guy raised a three, re-raised a five, and then this guy with $45 goes all in. So I'm in this situation. I've got to feel like this guy has a really strong hand. Either that or he just feels like these guys are weak. I mean, that kind of looks weak with that min raise, but with pocket deuces here, the thing is, I mean, you really, even if somebody calls you, you're never gonna be in a good spot. So he also didn't have a lot of money behind, so he didn't have a lot of implied odds if he decided just to call to see if he flopped a set. So if he was gonna play the hand, I guess shoving it all in was the best play to at least isolate it heads up, but with only $50, I probably just folded it pre-flop. But I'm glad he won this hand, so kind of keep this six-handed. So I'm going to look for any ways I can exploit some of these smaller stacks. Probably just play it pretty patient, wait for a good hand, good situation I can get into. All right, 7-5 suited. I'm gonna just go ahead and raise this, and got the button to fold, so I'm gonna be playing this hand in position with these smaller stacks. Oh, okay, actually, so I got 3-bet out of this guy here, and there's no implied odds to call there to try to even in position. Over at this other table, Jack 8. Just gonna go ahead and bet this out. Let's see what happens. In a multi-way pot, they're gonna put you on a hand if you bet out, and at the very least top pair. And look at this, I'll be damned, I would have won this hand. But so I'm gonna check this to this guy. I don't like his call. I believe he was the pre-flop raiser as well. So he called a flop, and it was really Jack 2-4. It's a very, very dry board. I'm just gonna go ahead and fold this here. Jack 8's just, it's probably not ahead, and I'm out of position, so I'm going to face another potential bet from him on the river. So, I took my shot on the flop. Even though I had top pair, it seems kind of weak folding that there, but, I don't want to get into a situation where then I got to make another read and make another call there, so. Especially considering, as I said, that board was so dry that it really looks like, he either has top pair or set. He very well could have had a pocket pair, 8s, 9s, 10s, something like that, and was just calling the flop with just that one overcard. And then maybe bluffed me off the turn, or he was bluffing with the best hand and got me to fold. But I just felt like it was a situation there where I was just going to let that top pair bad kicker go. And if you end up watching this on YouTube, I'm going to post this video on YouTube. Maybe be really cool if you leave a comment if you want to ask me about any hands I played, or why I did what I did. I am mostly a tournament player. I would say probably 90% of the time I'm grinding out multi-table tournaments. But back around 2017 to 2020, in that time period, I was playing a lot of no limit cash on global poker, 100 max no limit. it just fit really well with my schedule. I used to work a 9 to 5 job, and then I'd come home, I'd go train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and spend a couple hours there at the gym, come home, take a quick shower, then I can just jump online from about, I'd say about 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'd put in 2 hours, and then on Saturdays and Sundays I put in a little bit more time. All right, so this had the full Queen Jack offsuit. If I was suited, I would call this here. This guy raised 5x'd it pretty deep. I wasn't really comfortable making a play pre-flop, like 3-betting or anything like that. I think it's best in this, especially this 8-handed game. There's probably going to be more recreational players than the short 6-handed games. So I'm not trying to put myself in any positions with any dicey situations. Ideally, it'd be great just to have very obvious decisions, obvious folds, obvious calls, things like that. All right, so second pair, somewhat coordinated board against a short stack here. I'm a continuation bet against the short stack almost every time. All right, Queen Jack suited. I am gonna raise this. 2 short stacks out of the blinds here. All right, so I flop a flush draw with 2 overcards. All right, so I'm gonna make a small continuation bet. Try to get them to fold out King X, maybe Ace X, things like that. I mean, I would have hated to have one of these guys shove all in and I end up losing a hand with a lot of value. All right, so this guy 4x raises on the cutoff here. I hope this guy folds. I wasn't. All right, so I'd have been happy just to plow this all in. I might still be ahead even with these guys. Seem pretty erratic, but I'm not going to risk it. All right, so I flop a second set here. Yeah, pocket nines. And I get no action with my set over in this table, so. Yeah, I mean, raise, call, and then a shove all in. I'm gonna go ahead and I probably could have just folded that small blind, but it's no harm seeing a really cheap flop if I hit it really, really well. But I'm just gonna get out. All right, so this guy raises. I'm gonna get out of the way now. If you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to drop say what's up in the chat. Only been streaming online poker for maybe a couple weeks now, so any feedback, be happy to hear from anyone. So I don't know if you noticed, but this guy jumped in. He started with just $50. That is one of my online tells. People that buy in short of the 100 max are typically recreational players, so you gotta be conscientious of that. So this guy got a jam here to my left, on the table on the right hand side. I feel like I've seen him at some of these other tables previously, so he's probably somewhat of a regular. These other guys don't recognize any of their names, and then I got 3 players that bought in for less than the maximum. All right, so Queen 9. If I was suited, I would raise this, but I don't think it's strong enough in this situation. Okay, so raise second act at an 8-handed table. If it folds around to me, I'm just going to fold queen 10 out of position here. I would defend that against maybe a button raise. Button or cut off. Maybe I defend queen. I would defend queen 10 there, but early position raise, I'm just going to go ahead and fold that. All right, ace king on the button. If one of these guys raise, I'm going to put in a small re-raise, or 2.5x or so. All right, so you made it 2, so I'm going to go to about 7. And actually, that'd be about 3, especially with this guy. With this guy jumping in, I'm gonna raise to 8 here. All right, so heads up against okay, leads out into a dry board here. I'm gonna go ahead and then fires a turn for 2/3. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and fold this here. Yeah, there's no telling what some of these guys have. You know, you could have flopped 2 pair. You could have flopped. This is too dicey to try to put a play on them. So, all right, over here I got second pair on the flop. Gonna call this guy river 2 pair. So I'm gonna bet. Just gonna go ahead and bet full pot. It's probably ahead. Maybe even way ahead with just a 1 pair. All right, 10-5 out of position. Just gonna fold it to him. All right, ace-8 on the button. I'm gonna raise up these limpers here. And really just playing the situation, the scenario more than the hand. But these guys are all in a short stack. Now it's going to be a multi-way pot, so I really got to hit a flop. And I actually have to be extremely careful if I flop my ace. Came out all hearts. I'm probably just going to surrender this here. Actually. No, I don't think it's a good idea to continuation bet. So, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're in Twitch right now, I think I have 1 viewer on my stream. I actually never used GTO Wizard or any of those training programs. So, if you're on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let me know like what the best one is that you use, because I think after the World Series of Poker, right now we're in the middle of May, so after June, I think I'm gonna take maybe I'm gonna scale back my poker playing a lot, and I think I'm just gonna study some of that GTO Wizard. All right, so I raise under the gun with ace queen. I get a call from the guy to my right, same guy that I played a pot with a second ago. He checked me this time. I'm gonna go ahead and bet it out, see what happens. All right, so he calls me. It's not a good sign. And then he just goes ahead and fires the turn. Just gonna call here. See what happens. All right, so I got pocket 9s over here on this other table. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and raise him here. Might not be a good idea. We'll see what happens. Oh, any river 2 pair. So, I mean, that's probably not a good idea to raise this guy. I was just more curious. That's the second time he took a line like that on me where he just like led right out into me. And it probably wasn't a smart idea to raise him there. Probably could have just called and see what he had. But just decided to, throw a raise out there and see what happened, but backfired on me. It is what it is. All right, so unraised pot, flop bottom pair. Go ahead and lead out, see what happens here. If I get this guy to fold, I have position on him for the rest of the hand. And he called, which seems to be completely on brand. And he leads out the turn. All right, so this other table I got 9-7 suited. I'm going to go ahead and call because I'm closing the action. And flop a gut shot. So I'm going to call this guy here. So flop trip sevens, or river trip sevens, excuse me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bet. I'm going to raise. Maybe he thinks I'm on tilt and he pays me off. All right, so won a little bit of the money. I lost to him back. Still not happy about that hand that I raised him with, but that's fine. All right, so over here, I call 5 to 120, getting 4 to 1 on this call, but it's just pretty much just only have a gut shot right now. All right, Queen Jack suited over here at the full ring game. Let's see what happens here. But this will probably be my last hand I'm going to play on this stream, and I'm going to shut it down for the night. All right, so hopefully this guy folds. I can raise. All right, so now I'm going to have position the rest of his hand. All right, well, I just take it down pre. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Again, if you, any comments, suggestions, criticism, anything, feel free to drop a comment on YouTube. I'm going to post this. This is where I'm going to be posting this at. So, all right.